Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Daily Downshift. Today we are finally taking care of the nasty height on the Audi S4. You excited, man? I know these springs are something that you wanted to do for quite some time now.
Yeah, the car, before I had no issue, but once I had the wheels done, I saw it and I was like, dude, this thing looks like a pickup truck.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, especially the front. I mean, the front's very exaggerated. The back's not as bad, but I mean, it's still there. It's still pretty bad, right?
100%.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my car because we did the springs on them. We recorded it, obviously. And since then, the car has settled quite a lot. And as you can see, it almost looks like the tire's sitting underneath the fender, which, in my opinion, is a really, really nice look on the M2. Here's a shot from the side. First things first, we need to jack this bad boy up. We have our jack stands over there. We got the lift. Let's get down to business. As you can tell, our puck just split in half, so we're gonna have to grab a new one. Kind of crazy. I don't know why that happened. We've been using this for quite some time, so maybe all the stress finally got to it, but yeah, we're gonna need to grab a new one. And there's a little bit of
exposed body.
Yeah, exposed body, but no harm done. Should be fun.
Yep.
All right, first step of the process. What are you doing over here?
So I'm loosening these 13mm bolts here. We do not have the dampening suspension, so all we got to do is just loosen these and go to the underside.
Okay, how much are you loosening it? Just a little bit?
Maybe like a quarter.
Okay.
So after we unscrew those top bolts, you want to loosen this guy right over here.
Let me get in there and show them that.
Yeah, we already started that there.
Hold on, wait for it to focus here, guys. So we went ahead and loosened that one. Not take it off, obviously.
Yep.
Just wanted to loosen that.
And then the bottom arm right here, as you can see, there's a wrench on it. You're gonna loosen that as well. And then once that is loose, you're gonna go back and remove the top completely.
Yeah.
And you're gonna leave the bottom loose. Okay, so as we see, this bolt is coming out, but the issue is it's gonna hit the plastic housing here. So what I'm gonna do is take off this bolt here, which is a 10mm, and there's one on the opposite end as well. Hopefully you can see that.
Yep.
And then what I'm gonna do is there's a T30 here as well, just to pull the mud flap out a little bit, and there's a bunch of grime here. So those are the 10mm that have been removed, and that is the T30 that came off the liner. So here it is right here, the plastic. We're just gonna yank it with all the grime that's there. Just wanna pull that down, pull this one off, and you're free. Just take it out, and done.
So now that we took off that liner, obviously it's gonna give us more clearance so that we can take out the bolt that we need to take out, right?
Exactly, the 5/8 bolts. Oh yeah, looks like we've got a Christmas gift here.
Wow, that's crazy. So much dirt.
Oh.
There you go.
Bang!
All right.
So,
that was what we were waiting for right there.
expect a pop and be clear. So I've got two 18s here, one on this side to hold it, one on this side to yank it. Just put that on there, I can't really see. There we go.
That's the bottom arm, right?
Yeah, that's the bottom arm there.
Let's see if you can break it on camera. It's going to require quite a lot of strength with small wrenches.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, that was on tight.
Now it should come off quite a lot easier.
Perfect. All right, since the bottom is out, this is out, I think, what, 3 bolts so far. The final one right over here has to come out, and this is another 16mm.
Let it focus really quick here.
No problem.
So that's what we're doing. It's just on the other side of the middle one that we hit.
Yep. The brake line's holding it. Look at that, eh? You don't need 2 guys. You see this?
Life hacks 101.
Boom. All right, there she is.
All right.
In all her glory.
Zoom out of here. All right, so the next step is going to be quite the fun one, right?
This is a difficult one.
Yeah.
Right over here. So once this gets loosened,
That bolt.
yeah, this bolt here comes off, then you pull this entire thing out.
Yep.
Then you have to somehow jimmy a wrench or like a spacer tool
Yep.
into here and on the opposite side here, because these things pop straight out and it is very difficult.
Yeah. And forgot to mention this is a 16mm, so.
Yeah, 5/8. Power through, baby. Wow. All right, nut is off. Let's try to get this piece out.
Yeah, this is one that pops out. You have to hit it with a mallet or something.
Let's go get a mallet. Pow.
There we go. Came out in one piece. That's all that matters.
Yep.
And so now we're going to move on to the very difficult part.
This is not going to be fun at all.
Not going to be fun at all, but we got to do it.
Alrighty, so as you can see, Nestor has some long needle nose pliers all the way up in there, stretching this a little bit. I'm using the mallet coming in right here, hitting this arm, and it's out. And you can see all this corrosion and gunk all over it.
This actually came out a lot easier than we thought, simply because the first time around we didn't have this, we used something else, and it wasn't working very well. But once you find the right tool to kind of stretch it out so that the piece can pop up, it becomes a lot easier. We literally got this done in 15 seconds. All right, round two, let's see if it's easier. I'm stretching it. This one's harder.
We got lucky. We had WD-40, a new can, and we put it right in there. It seeped through, as you can see. And this guy came out with a few nice little mallet strikes. This whole strut assembly is gonna have to come out of the bottom housing here. So you wanna keep those bolts on the top, the 13 millimeters screwed in.
The three up top.
Exactly. You wanna keep those in there, and then you wanna hit this down. We're gonna put some WD-40 here.
Let's make sure that it's nice and lubricated so that...
Getting some splash black.
Yeah.
Splashback, baby.
So it's fairly easy to remove. And we're also gonna do the same thing on this one, where we're gonna have something to pry open.
Yes.
The side of it.
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah. And then one of us is just gonna hit the other side with a mallet. Oh, easy.
Oh, yeah. WD-40 to those freaking win.
All right. You push the brake with one hand and film.
Yep.
Push the brake down.
All right.
It's coming off. Almost. Almost. It's off.
That's probably it, right?
That's off.
It's off.
When your jack is underneath and it's holding the lower control arm, what you want to do is continually drop down the lift lower and lower, and you could have one person or yourself pushing down on the brake, and that lowers it even further and further, like that. And you just keep hitting this guy right here, and eventually it'll be so low that there'll be enough room for separation, and then you could basically take out all three of the bolts up top and pull out the spring, and that
go.
also is off just like that. All right,
there she is in all her glory.
All right, so that is the spring finally out.
All right, so we got our strut compressors here, or our spring compressors. One side has been put on, this side, pop those guys in. This would be much better with an impact gun, but we do not have one. So make sure you're balanced here. Let's take this top hat off here. Nice and easy. We notice the level of this guy, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, we have a strut socket.
18 millimeter.
18 millimeter, and we're also gonna need, what kind of Allen key is that? We probably don't know the
You know what,
measurement.
I don't know the size, but just if you have a collection, you put that in there, you turn, and that's about it.
Okay.
Let's take that out. The bump stop, or is it bump stock?
I think it's a bump stop.
Okay, so writing obviously stays upright, 034. You put this on like so, slide it over, make sure it stops where it needs to, which is right there. Hopefully you can see that. It's snug. You put this guy right on top because it won't go through the bottom. This guy goes right through. If it can go through, okay. And again, this part has to be right there, so make sure those are aligned. Okay, last bit, plastic hat going on top. Make sure this is lined up with this. Again, this goes engine ways.
Yeah, so we're just gonna pop it in, and then we're gonna start reversing everything that we did. So the exact order that we undid all the bolts and nuts, we are just gonna reverse that once this this strut, goes back in. Once the tower goes back in,
Yeah.
and that's it, right?
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
nice
it
different
looks
color.
really nice.
It's not red or anything, but
yeah,
it's
I
nice.
like the color though. It's a pretty nice color.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do, since it's pretty late, is we're gonna wrap up. Like we mentioned, we're gonna reverse everything, put the wheel back on, all that good stuff. Let it sit for the night, and we're gonna come back tomorrow so that we can work on the back two springs.
Yeah, it's definitely way too late, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello again, guys. It is day 2 of the 034 Motorsport lowering springs install. We did that yesterday. We are now moving on to the rears. This should be easier. I've looked at forums and some videos. They say there's about 3 bolts that you take off, but I'm going to attempt it with 1. And the reason is that the front took so much work and there's so many different axes that it sits on to fit everything back together that we were so annoyed. So I'm gonna try to rush this and just get it done. And if it works, you guys will end up seeing that. Oh yeah, also it's just gonna be me today. Nestor might pop by because he's a little bit busy working. So let's see how this goes. So this is our first step, removing this rock guard. This is what is holding it. All you have to really do here is take a flathead and get in here like so and just pry it off. And that is it. It's actually very easy. You get 2 of those that come off, and you pull this down. It might slide, and that is it. Okay, so here is what the rear looks like. My aim is only to remove this bolt, and then this whole arm should swing right down, and I think it's going to be very easy to get this out and put the new one in. So first thing I'm going to do is just mark where this is, because this is the camber adjustment, and I'll show you that right now. So when we screw it back on, we know where it should be. Either way, you probably should go for an alignment after you get this done, but you know, I want to keep it nice and clean. So let's go ahead and try to break this nut here. I'm using a 13/16 on this side and an 18mm on the other. The thread is a little bit different on this one, so let's try it out. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. So the nut has now been removed, and we want to take that bolt out. We're going to unscrew it on the other side. But in order to do that, I want to do the safe thing and put a jack stand right under here, which is the smart thing to do to relieve a little bit of pressure. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit, and that's going to be it. So I realized something a little bit unfortunate. This bolt right here has to be removed by a ratchet because this exhaust right here is in the way. I was going to use a drill with an 18mm bit on it to make it much faster, but we don't have a choice, so here we go. So look who decided to show up today and give us a hand, eh?
Yes. You got the bolt out from the lower control arm on the rear?
Yes, that is it.
Rear driver's side?
Beautiful.
Yep, so what's next here? Are we just gonna drop down this lower arm and the spring is gonna come out?
Yeah, I'm gonna lower that, and then we're gonna try to just shake this and get it out.
Yeah, it just falls out?
Slowly, slowly, slowly. Good, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, the top hat came loose, the bottom has to come, and that's it.
Perfect.
Now we just gotta wiggle this out here. Probably can't see it, but this is already out.
Yeah, the spring looks like there's no pressure on it at all.
And the bottom is already out as well. And look, these are still in, and I'm pretty sure we can complete this without touching these.
Nice.
Okay, wait.
Go.
Okay.
I'm holding it, go.
Okay.
All right.
Boom. Okay. Wow. All right.
Just like that, you got the spring out.
There we have it. So, keep note of this. This goes on the inside, and this has to line up also.
Okay, so you're saying the stop inside the top hat is gonna touch the end?
Exactly.
But on the bottom, it is not going to, and it's gonna mold its own stopping point.
Exactly. And that's directly from 034.
Okay.
The way to put it back in is we're gonna put the top in first. It's gonna go like that. And this bottom is also gonna go in separately, and make sure this nub goes into the hole that it has to go into. And so if you look, these are gonna line up. See how this sticks out here and this sticks out here?
Yeah.
So it's gonna line up directly like that. So make sure this is in first, then this goes in, and then this guy's gonna go right on top.
Yeah, just like the BMW, they had these nubs as well.
Okay.
Rotate, yeah, there you go. Nubs in.
Okay, that's it. Let's make sure that's aligned.
As simple as that, huh?
That is it. The top piece is in, it's nice and flush. The bottom here is going to mold based on the car's weight. It's gonna push it down. That's why it sits a little bit awkwardly, and we're gonna pump that up over here. We'll throw the bolt in, and it should be pretty simple.
You have another 5 twists, 6 twists maybe? keep going. Stop. Yep, stop right there. Okay, I'm gonna jack it a little bit.
Yeah. And then if not, I'll hit it with the block.
Yep, perfect, it's working. And go ahead, now you can push it through.
You sure?
Yep, done. One more thing, guys. As Ora said earlier, you should have marked the whole nut, bolt, everything, all that stuff, the washer, and as you see on the driver's side, we put it back so that the blue marker is facing inwards, and on the other side, we also have it so that the marker is facing inwards as well. One final thing we have to do is just put on this rock guard onto the lower control arm, and
we'll slide in like this.
Yeah, and we'll call it a day.
Put it to the side. That's in. Probably not the best way to do it, but it works. That is in. Gotta get this in first. That is it. So much work on the fronts, guys. The rear was significantly easier.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how your wheels look now that the car is a little bit lowered. Yeah. Obviously, it's gonna have to settle for quite some time, but let's get that bad boy on the car.
Yep. Here we are, coming right down. I could see the final stage. All right, back is coming down a little bit. Front is down, nice and smooth.
And that's it.
That is it. Okay. So.
Right. Front's noticeably lower for sure.
Well, it sat overnight also.
Ah, that's true.
That's important. True. And then this still has to drop.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like,
it already does look a little lower.
Yeah, this is already a good drop. It's supposed to be 0.9 inches, about an inch.
To give you guys a look right here, the front, the rear.
Let me just say, if it sits like this, I know it's gonna go down more. I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want too aggressive, because I don't want any rubbing or anything.
Yeah.
So, and winter's also coming.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna put the other springs on and swap them.
Yeah,
so.
you don't want to be a snowplow during winter, right?
That would be cool if I got a front carbon fiber like lip or something, right?
Yeah. Alrighty.
So, first of all, thank you to 034 for hooking us up with a great deal on these springs. I'm very excited, as you can see.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely subscribe, because in the next few videos, we're gonna be showing you how this thing sits lower. Obviously, it has to come down a little bit. So stay tuned for that if you want to see it.
Yeah, because this is not really the final result, right?
No.
It should drop a little bit more as the car just naturally uses its own weight to compress the springs a little bit more, like it did with my BMW M2. They fell very, very significantly compared to the day after we installed them. So I'm expecting to see the same thing over here. So make sure to subscribe, because you guys will see the final result in a future video. But that's basically it for us. Any last words?
Definitely like, subscribe, as we already said, comment, let me know what you think of these, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Take care.